I've seen some of your posts inside of your first 5K club,
Right.
and you have just been taking off like a rocket over here. Can you tell the people a little bit about what you've accomplished, especially with these lovable pages so far?
Yeah. Well, basically, this feels weird talking to you directly like this. After following you all this time, but basically, I'm 65, and I've been working in the IT field for over 35 years now. And up until last year, around about the same time, my last contract ended, and I had a hard time finding work, so I
Hmm.
had to create something. And then I came up on the school store, and then everybody's been talking about AI, and I saw your page, and I started following that. I'm like, okay, that looks like something I could do. Long story short, I bought into your 360 pass thing, and
Hmm.
to be honest, when I first got in there, it was kind of overwhelming.
Yeah.
So I kept going down different rabbit holes, trying to do this, trying to do that, and then I took a couple of breaks, and I like, okay, I need to focus on one thing. So I said, let me start focusing on the AI consulting part of it.
Mm.
And so I did some other outside training. Matter of fact, I'm doing a training now for the AI, the Google AI certificate
Oh, cool.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I have some more of that on my belt. But the lovable thing it just seemed to come to me because, like I said, my history of working in IT, and I've worked with IT departments and ran IT departments, everything was about documentation. So I'm always really good about putting details in this stuff when I've had to write something down and all that
Hmm.
kind of stuff. So when build a site, I'm usually pretty detailed about it, and it comes almost exactly the way I want it.
Yeah.
Since it's a whole vibe code, and all you literally just have to do is tell it. Well, I started off like you said. I started doing kind of like $300 sites with a couple of family and friends and that kind of stuff,
Hmm.
and that was it was kind of hit and miss, because the thing about family and friends is everybody wants a discount
Yeah.
and that kind of stuff. But I got through it, and I worked out with some people because I needed some content. So I got started, got a few of those under my belt, and I slowly started building up and building up, so I had something to show other people. And once I did that part, it became a little bit easier because I could then get out there, and I built my own website. I'm also been a photographer for a number of years,
Hmm.
so I built myself a photography site, and I built myself a basically AI consultant site, and I use those as my first two, along with a couple other friends of sites I built. And once, like I said, more content I showed, the more I got to pull people in, and those people, I think I mentioned it in the on your school stores, that I've been able to manage having other people become my salesmen.
Mm.
So I would get something built for somebody, or they'll like it, and then they'll go out and tell their friends. As a matter of fact, a couple of times I even made an offer. I said, if you go out and get me at least three people or at least three referrals, I'll give you so much off on your site to
Yes. Like
build
a
it.
referral,
Yeah, like a
affiliate.
referral deal
Hmm.
contract, so like a win-win kind of thing, and that kind of went off well. And I would do that every so often to start building more clientele.
Yeah.
Well, this last person was a referral from a nurse friend of mine, and he's like a holistic doctor of some type. And matter of fact, he had been out of the game for a while, but he wanted to rebuild his clientele in the whole 9 yards. And he had a partner that was of all things, he was a bodybuilder. He was number fifth in the country back in
Mm.
his day. And so they're partners, and both of them came to me together and said they needed sites built. One wants an app built. The one that's a trainer, he wants to app. So I've got another thing, future build with him to build some kind of app because he wants a
Hmm.
kind of a training app. But this holistic doctor, I started building on his, and I had got up to this point, my flat rate was like 750 for a
Yeah.
starter package.
Yeah.
And so, but I gave that price to him, and he's an old school guy. So when I try to have the documentation, and I had a questionnaire for him to fill out because I have him go through this whole process to get an idea of what they want. Well, it was a whole big thing trying to get him to do that because he's old school. He wanted to print stuff out, so I had to go piece by piece. We went to back and forth with emails. Long story short, I got it the way he really likes it. But by that time, he's well over the 750 rate.
Mm. Hmm.
And I brought it to him. Matter of fact, we had a call with him and his partner just today, and we talked about it. And he said, "Well, I really need this. I like what I see so far. How much more would it take to get all what I wanted to get done?" And then what I did was I went to Claude and I went to ChatGPT and I ran the reports on what it would take for his site to look the way it is now. How much would the standard price in the US be for that?
Hmm.
And it was averaging anywhere from 7,000 to 15,000, something
Mm.
like that. And when he
Mm-hmm.
saw those, I said, "I'll you can research yourself." So I'm showing you these numbers now, so you can see I'm going to give you a rate, so you won't get so much sticker shock. Now, this is what they're paying for it out there. I'll do it for you under 2,000.
Mm. There you go.
And when he saw that, and that's the way I hooked him because I let him see how much you really could pay for something like that, as opposed to what I would charge you for something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that's how I pulled in that today and upsold it from what he wanted because I already got him in because he liked all other stuff. He said, "How'd you do this so fast?" That was the thing he kept saying. I
Yeah.
said, "That's not important.
Yeah, it's not
There's no
important. That's the
yeah,
secret sauce. Yeah.
right. That's the secret
So
sauce. I
how
couldn't
how
not
many how many of these do you think you've sold at that at different rates? How many do you think you've sold?
I've sold at least about four or five, about four under the 300 rate, maybe about three or so under the 750. This is the first one. This is the most expensive one I've sold. So of course, like I said, and then of course he knows these other doctors and stuff, and so he's going to refer me as well.
Yeah. This is
The other
if you add this up, this is about $5,000 that you've
right,
made.
right. Like I
Yeah.
said, I just made $2,000 in this week.
Yeah.
So and I looked at that. I wait, well, that covers rent for next month,
That's
so that's perfect.
perfect. Love
Yeah.
it.
So, and the other thing is, like I said, I used to be a photographer for a long time, and I've had model friends, and a lot of them do like the glamour modeling and all that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
Well, a lot of these social media sites are starting to kick them off their sites, and now they show any kind of skin or too much skin. And so I had this one friend come to me, was a model. She said, "I'm getting tired of kicked off." I said, "Why don't you get your own site then? Why don't you get your own website? I'll give you a deal, 350, you get 5 pages, and you can load anything you want up there. And then at that point, or you go to Instagram, one of these other sites, you can just put a link
Yeah.
and they can see it from straight to your website." So I did that one for her, and now she's telling her other model friends about this. So I've got that in the pipe as well.
That's
So
great.
that's,
So that's a
yeah,
big lesson I hope everybody's taking, especially those who are in my Lovable Income Challenge right now that I have. And I'm going to link to it below. If it's on YouTube, I'll link to it above if it's on another platform. But that is where I'm teaching you how to do all of this and
right.
more and some more advanced stuff. I hope that you're hearing more than once. Anthony has mentioned he does a great job for a client and then he sends the client out to bring more people who would appreciate it. And that's
Right.
big. That's where like the scaling comes from, the growth
Yeah,
comes from.
and I am not a salesman. I'm always been an IT guy. I hate to be in front of people. Like I know you say you got to make the calls, but I like, why don't I just get other people who naturally can talk like
Yeah.
that to do it instead of me having to do that part of
Yeah,
it.
I think it's a great
So
idea. I think it's a great idea. I mean, you have to get the original ones. So you got the
right,
original ones. You went out and kind of, went out of your comfort zone for that. But then absolutely. And then the great thing about that is that it's a flywheel and the more people who
right,
you know, the more people who get the project from you, the more people to sell for you.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's too
But yeah,
cool.
it's been going really well so far, and this last week, yeah, it's got me all hyped up. I'm trying to keep her jumping up and down, but yeah, I'm really hyped about this whole week because that
That's
wasn't the
great.
only one I sold this week. I had a couple of more that are about to be sold as well.
Oh man, that's great. And you don't want to count it before you got it, but
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
that's always the worst thing to do. Yeah. So,
yeah, but that is too cool. You think you're gonna keep doing this?
yeah, because this, for all intents and purposes, this is my new job now. I'm starting, and yeah, I've created, like I said, I'm going to be an official AI consultant because I already knew about things with the SEOs and all that kind of stuff, and that's another thing I offer to the clients. I don't just build a website, but I do this search optimization and all that kind of stuff
Mm,
in the part of the package as well. So, I always
yeah.
promise to improve their traffic to their
Yeah.
sites.
We talk about
So,
this in the Lovable Challenge, the Level Income Challenge, where you're not just limited to selling landing pages. You could also work with these clients in a further capacity, and there's more sales to be made. You don't have to have more clients to make more money. There's a depth that
right,
you can have, especially when they see that first thing. It's like beautiful, it's awesome, and fast, like you said.
right,
They're like, okay, what else can you help me with? Because
right.
that's a great start.
And I tell you, being fast is a really key to a lot of it too, because I had one client, the one that's the bodybuilder, and I sent him, he gave me a few ideas. Matter of fact, it was funny. He written it out. He had written it out on a piece of paper and scanned it in to me. And I scanned it into Chat or one of those apps or something. They got most of the gist of it. And I had it to him within a couple of hours or so, an hour or something like that. And he was like, wait, this is it? He said, I'm so used to people telling me they're going to do something. I had to wait weeks and weeks and stuff, and then they don't get back to me and all this kind of stuff. So that just getting back to him alone that fast, it helps make some more sales or him referring me to some other people.
Yeah,
So it's been
that's
great.
great. That's really
Yeah.
wonderful. Awesome. If anybody is on the fence about joining the Lovable Income Challenge, what do you say to them?
You got to try it. You got to get out there. It's always a painstaking. Like me at the time, I did not have money, even with the 360 pass, and I found different ways, and I
Yes.
script save, borrow, whatever, and got on it. Once I got on it, like I said, it was so much information, it was overwhelming. But once I focused and I pick one thing, get on there, pick one thing, focus on that, because if you do too much, it's gonna seem overwhelming. You're not gonna want to do anything.
Yeah, that
So
360
whether
pass
it be
is
yeah, whether it
packed.
be lovable
Yeah.
challenge or whatever, focus on one part of it and just get that down. And that way it won't seem so overwhelming to you. And then you just sort of build from there.
I think that's great advice. And I thank you so much. You're going to help inspire and help so many people with this message. Thank you so much, Anthony.
You're very welcome.
I'll see you
Thank
later.
you. All right.
Bye.